And good morning, Savannah and the Coastal Empire. Welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here at Coach's Corner on the Soundgarden stage because it's presented by the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Once again, Karl DeMasi, July 29th, talking local sports, talking national sports. Every Saturday morning is a lot of fun here to talk sports. And if you're with me for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, thank you for taking that time to be part of the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Like I said, it's every Saturday morning. It's part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We have 4 shows, 3 that are live, 2 that go every week, 1 that goes once a year, and the other one is a podcast, okay? And this week we had to take off because due to family traveling and other responsibilities, the only podcast we do, which is one of the shows, the Who's on First Base baseball podcast with the coach and Kyle Lawson, will return next Wednesday. A lot of family travel time for Kyle and myself. All right. 3 live shows. Of course, every Saturday morning, you got me, the coach, at Coach's Corner, okay, from 9 to whenever. Then, of course, you got Rubbin' and Grubbin' every Wednesday night with the Atlanta man, Brandon Bain, and, of course, the man himself, the OG of the Coach's Corner Sports Network, Lawrence Bennett, the producer. He's probably checking in right now saying, good morning, Coach. Let's see if you got a comment, put it in the box. And I'm right on the money. And if you're listening there, good brother, love you, brother. You know that, Lawrence. Hey, how's the sound? How does the sound? That doesn't sound right. But anyway, yeah, I had problems with my microphone, so just trying to find out if it's working well. And he's the producer of Rubbin' and Grubbin', and he keeps you on track with his little comments behind the scene. Lawrence, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining in and always watching the coach's back. All right. And then once a year, first week of April, the Masters, the Herb brothers, do the 19th hole. All Masters, 5 days straight. So, you know, pretty hard to do, but the Herb brothers, Sean and Brent Herb, do a great job. All right. So what do we got on the coach's show today on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report? Well, of course, Open always tries to get through local sports, local news, what's going on. That's quarter number 1. Quarter number 2, okay, I go to a guest. And today, why not bring him on? WTOC mid-morning co-host Tim Guidera, sports fanatic, wrote for the Savannah Morning News, been with WTOC now for over 15, 17 years, and he was the golf columnist before Stephen Weeks was the golf columnist. Now they don't have a golf columnist. Now it's a one-man show with Dennis Knight, who does a great job. Okay, so Tim Guidera talking about Brian Harmon's win, talking a little baseball, and, of course, we're talking Braves baseball, Brian Harmon, and Georgia football. All right, so little blitz right there. Then we'll go to quarter number 3. It's the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week segment, but due to the fact that all the athletes are all over the place, I went to an athlete of mine. She played basketball for me for a long time at H.V. Jenkins High School. She's now the new head coach at Calvary Day School, Brooke Cameron. I can't wait to you see that. It had to be pre-recorded because she's doing something today, whether it's with the family, whether it's volleyball, but it's pre-recorded. That's quarter number 3. Quarter number 4, the new football coach over at Sal C. Johnson High School, Stephen Smith. He's been there for 5 years, offensive coordinator, takes over for Kendrick Bonner. He'll be on. And then overtime, quarter number 5, I go the 3 steps out the door. I take 3 videos from social media, Reels, Twitter, Facebook. I don't do the TikTok thing, so I don't know how to do the TikTok thing, even though people tell me I should be on the TikTok thing. Maybe Tim Guidera can tell me when he comes on next how to do the TikTok thing. But anyway, 3 videos, and, of course, Karl's Corner. It's an editorial I used to do every Friday morning with Bill Edwards, Karl's Corner, but Bill Edwards is no longer with 97.7, Savannah AM Morning News. So I get to do it Saturday morning at the end of my show. All right, so let's go quickly to all the news and notes that I came up. High school, 3 steps in the door. High school is always first. Youth sports, you name it. Professional sports. Anthony Lanier is doing his camp, the Warrior Camp. Anthony Lanier, former H.V. Jenkins High School standout basketball, football player. I wonder if Seth Gaspin ever got him to play baseball. He's putting on his youth camp like he ever does the Anthony Lanier Warrior Camp. It's over at Daffin Park. Check it out. Starts at 10 o'clock. So you got to be proud of these guys giving back. Savannah Junior Golf, we had a bunch of kids at the U.S. World Teen Championship. In Pinehurst, Ava Cotis out of Savannah Christian, 17-year-old rising junior, was tied for second after the first round. She dropped yesterday. Check out the Prep Sports Report. You can find all your news about that. 12 Savannah area baseball players earn Georgia dugout all-state honors. So let me get my list. So hang in there with me. All right. They got all-state honors, and I don't want to leave anybody out. You know how that works. You leave somebody out, and they get upset with you. I'll have the emails all over the place. So here we go. In Class 7A, second team, Blaine Newman, who signed with University of South Carolina at Aiken. Class 6A, second team, Aaron Benton out of South Effingham. Class 4A, first team, Johnny Calloway Jr., that little lefty out there for the Sharks. Benedictine, infielder, pitcher, shortstop, you name it. This kid does everything and has done everything for Benedictine. I can't believe he's only a junior. Parker McCoy. Second team, only a sophomore. It's supposed to be one of the best pitchers around, Landon Ludwig. Then in Class 3A, Savannah Christian, 5 players, 4 first team, 1 second team. All right, we had Josh Gates, senior catcher. We had Jaden White, Savannah Christian infielder. Eli Brown, outfielder. Deegan Strickland was the designated hitter, but he could have been a pitcher. And second team went to Blaine Burnstead as a pitcher, but he was all world. And then we had 2 honorable mentions out of Bryan County, the Redskins. We had Connell Leggett and we had Tanner Ennis. So great job by all these guys for making the all-state team. Memorial Day School, Mattis Adidius, okay, rising senior at Memorial Day School, got chosen to the prestigious NCAA Basketball Academy. He was there this week, did a great job. Memorial Day School, 6'7". Father played a little basketball. I know he was a college basketball player at Monmouth College up there in New Jersey. I don't know how many people know about that, but a very good player. Foreign exchange student at Lithuania. Okay, check it out. And Hayden Alouetta, St. Vincent's. First, I think the first area girl to ever be a USA Today's top 25 flag football finalist for the Flag Football Player of the Year. Pretty special. And what happens today? They'll announce it, I think, on ESPN. Monday, high school season kicks off. Everybody full swing. Football, softball, volleyball, cross country, cheerleading, and riflery. Okay? They all have different starting dates, so check it out. When they can start playing, I think softball is the first one. It can start on August 4th. I know my good friend over at H.V. Jenkins High School, Seth Gaspin, has a game already lined up. So I think Friday against Bryan County, which is Jason Roundtree, which is another guy from Savannah who's coaching at Bryan County. So, all right, next Saturday, I will not be here. The 3rd annual Optum Orthopedics and Prep Sports Report Football Media Day, of course, with the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Next Saturday, August 5th at Optum Orthopedics on Duren. You'll have a chance to hear from the coaches about their expectations, the players, what they feel is going to go on. It'll be one coach, 3 players, just like the SEC and the AC Media Days. The reporters, the reporter, Dennis Knight, and then the 3 TV stations will be there, so check it out. Once again, you can come watch. Starts at 10 o'clock. We have schools that are coming. Benedictine, Bethesda, Bradwell, Bryan County, Calvary Day School, Effingham County, Liberty County, Memorial Day School, Richmond Hill, Savannah Country Day, Savannah Christian, St. Andrews, and South Effingham High School. All right? It's free. Come on in. You want to take pictures? Hey, take a picture with your favorite coach, favorite football player. That is next Saturday at Optum Orthopedics. Okay, so that's the 3rd annual Optum Orthopedics Prep Sports Report, Karl DeMasi Media Football Day. Tim, I want to see you say that 5 times quick. All right? Where's my next notes? Okay, we got to go to college. I got to get this out. I got to get this done before I get Tim on here at 9:15. I promised him. Savannah State, step 2 in the door, college sports. And I cover Savannah State and SCAD. Savannah State had 96 SEAC commissioners all-academic team, 30 from the football team. You got to plug the student in these athletes. Student-athlete, that's what they go to college for. They had 5 student athletes selected to the all-academic team for their respective sport. Pretty impressive. For football, Kenneth Lockhart. For women's tennis, Suzahara Banks. Corbin Allen for men's golf. Mark Green for men's golf. And Luke Sanders for baseball. Get this, a total record high of 1,650 students from the SEAC made the commissioner's all-academic team. That's impressive. SCAD. Kicks off soccer, men's soccer, August 17th. They'll be home against Faulkner University. Women's are on the road August 19th at Campbellsville University. Pro sports, I'll end on this note. Pro sports, the Braves got hot last night. Big win over the Milwaukee Brewers. Last week they were at the Milwaukee Brewers. They won 10-7. Big inning where they put up a lot of runs. They went up 10-4. They held on to win 10-7. Acuna, I think, has stole his 50th base. Riley Olsen hitting home runs. Of course, tonight, 7 o'clock, they take on former Brave Julio Teheran at 7:20 in the ATL at Truist Park, and we'll throw Bryce Elder. All right, I don't want to leave this out. Brian Harmon. We'll talk more with Tim Guidera, but just know he won the Open. I don't know why we can't call it the British Open, but we'll find out from Tim about that in about 2 or 3 minutes. But Brian Harmon, I've been following this kid since he played youth golf, high school golf, college golf. He won the Travelers and he won the John Deere. They're not major championships, but he finally got one of the 4 majors, 36 years old. Unbelievable. Came home yesterday. St. Simon's had a big party waiting for him. What's Savannah going to do for this kid? We'll see what Tim says about that. So Brian Harmon, congratulations. He jumps up from like 26th to the 6th in the FedEx Cup, which starts August 9th, okay, to win the whole championship and win some more money. All right, I'll get to the other pro sports. I got to get my man on, Tim Guidera. I got to thank people who sponsor the show. So in 3 minutes, coming up, you want to name him. The guru of sports here in Savannah, the sports journalist, the sports anchor, the co-host of Mid-Morning Live, good friend from New York, from Staten Island. He's not Italian, but I like to call him my Italian paisan, Tim Guidera. 3 minutes, we'll be right back talking golf, talking baseball, and talking some football. All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia, because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why. There's always sports, live music in the sound garden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV, because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991 and is always open for dining service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Weatherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room. If you can, at the Weatherton Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Weatherton Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Weatherington at the Weatherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here, live on the Coach's Corner Soundgarden stage. But I won't sing for you because I know I'll never make it, at the Metropolitan Opera place and all that other place. So I'll just stay here and say I'm hanging out here talking sports. That's right. It's Coach Karl DeMasi. Glad you could join me for the Karl DeMasi Sports Report every Saturday morning, whether it's live or recorded, because it's all about local sports, national sports, you name it. You got a comment? Please send it in the box. Got to say hello to my good friend, my number one fan, Dennis Kessler. Okay, he's back. He took off last week. He had to go do something, but my guy's back, and Brian Harmon winning the British Open. Love the show. Thank you, sir. Love you. Hope everything's going well. Once again, you got a comment? You got a question for my next guest, Dennis Knight? No, that's his buddy, Tim Guidera, who used to work with Dennis Knight. I don't know. We'll get it straight. But anyway, thanks, Dennis Kessler, for checking in. All right, Brian Harmon, big win. Okay, a lot of things going on in baseball. We got UGA football. This man knows a lot about it. He worked for the Savannah Morning News 1992 to, I don't know, for 15, 20 years. Then he jumped ship because he has a pretty face for the TV now. He does the mid-morning live show on WTOC. Always a lot of fun when something special happens here, especially with golf. He's the guru. He's the guy that's been here a little longer than I have. I made a wrong left turn off of 95. He followed a girl here. No, he found a girl here. That was the story. But joining me now on the Coach's Corner hot seat, the man himself, WTOC mid-morning live host, co-host, Tim Guidera. What's up, Tim?
Hey, Karl. How are you? Great to see you.
Hey, it's always fun seeing you on a Saturday morning, and we're talking sports. We're not going to talk Yankees because that gets me sick. So we'll leave that at that, okay? But anything, how's it going?
I don't want to talk about those guys.
No, I don't want to talk about those guys easy. Forget about them. We got to forget about them. So, but how's it going?
It's going great. I mean, this time last weekend, we were in the middle of maybe the most exciting sporting event Savannah has ever watched. Brian Harmon winning a major championship, leading 3 of the 4 days of the tournament, winning by 6, just by following online, by the comments online. I haven't seen people react to anything like that overseas. And, this is one of the biggest events in all of sports. And we had a guy right here from home bring it back. We'll see that trophy, that claret jug here in Savannah at some point. But right now it's kind of making the rounds. He had a little family vacation earlier this week, and now he's back down in St. Simons. Great video on the PGA Tour website about him arriving yesterday and the welcome that was there for him.
I know. I watched it last night. It was posted I got it 4 hours later. It was just super the way they came out and they honored him. It is his home now. But that's a question I got for you. Okay. It's been, this kid's been on tour since he's 21, 22, 23, whatever it is. But he won the Travelers. He won the John Deere. But we still don't get much love. We don't give much love to Brian Harmon. I know you and I bleed every time he plays in a tournament. I mean, I watch it to the end. I knew the kid in high school. I mean, one of my best covers ever on the Prep Sports Report, but I spelled his name wrong. I apologize, Brian. Okay. But I bumble and stumble. I make errors here and there, but why haven't we heard something that Savannah's going to do something for this kid? Because he's Savannah born, Southbridge, Savannah Christian. It's not like he came from Richmond Hill or Springfield or he grew up in St. Simons. He's Savannian. This is major.
Yeah, I mean, something will happen here. It hadn't even been a week yet. I mean, they just had a parade yesterday for Flau'jae Johnson, and she won the national championship with LSU back in April. So it takes time to get things together. He, of course, has an extremely busy schedule. He plays a lot on the PGA Tour, and they've got their playoffs coming up, which are very important. The University of Georgia hasn't even figured out when or how they're going to honor him. Obviously, he's going to be on the field with the claret jug at some point this season at one of the games. But Claude Felton and I have been texting back and forth the last couple of days, and he doesn't know when that's going to be, and it's going to take some time to set that up. But I am completely confident that Savannah will do something. It'll be fun. One of the very first texts I got when that final putt dropped on Sunday was my brother saying, "Savannah's got to throw a parade for Brian Harmon." I said, "We already do one of those on March 17th." But get this. All right, a couple of years ago, the World Series trophy was in the parade. Last year, national championship trophy was in the parade. How about this year, or in 2024, we get the claret jug in the parade too? Well, and maybe you get all three of them if Georgia and the Braves go ahead and do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I know Flage is a big thing. She was born here, but grew up in Atlanta. Played at Sprayberry High School. This kid was here the whole time.
Yeah. Brian lived here right up until he went to college, and then from the time he went to college, he lived in Athens for 4 years, and then he's been out on tour and has made Sea Island his base. That's a great place. There's probably 15 PGA Tour professionals down there. They have great facilities, practice facilities. They have great golf courses. They have a landing strip where those pros can fly their private jets in and out of, which is very important. So it's understandable why he's down there. And he does get a lot of attention from the golf community. I mean, there are a lot of golfers who every time Brian is in an event or around the lead, they are buzzing on the internet, putting stuff on Facebook. Nothing like I saw last week with the Open Championship. It was amazing, the reaction to that. And I talked to him, I guess it was a couple days ago, and let me put a little plug in right now. On WTOC.com is about a 7-minute Zoom interview with Brian. And he was very aware after the fact of how Savannah was pulling for him. He didn't want to know anything that was going on during the tournament. He was in a bubble over there. His family wasn't with him. He was he was living with his agent, and Harris English was rooming with him until he missed the cut and left. So he was in a bubble over there. He didn't want to know anything. But then Sunday night, he saw videos. People from Sea Island were sending him videos from their phone of people watching him and cheering for him over here, and people from Southbridge cheering for him. And he said it meant the world to him. So he still does get a good bit of support from here. And I'm sure the city of Savannah is going to do something. Keep in mind, I said that it might be the biggest sports accomplishment by a Savannian. That doesn't necessarily mean Brian is the most accomplished sports figure in Savannah, because Hollis Stacy won 3 Women's U.S. Opens, 3 Women's U.S. Amateurs, 6 USGA national championships. She's a World Golf Hall of Famer. That is a body of work that is going to be unparalleled in Savannah. But this single accomplishment, because of where golf is now, and because it is a major championship, because it is, I'll say the British Open, Carl, because I still say the British Open.
So do I.
I think this is the biggest accomplishment by a Savannah athlete.
Okay, well, we got a lot of, we got some other ones there. We got, Mr. Purvis Ellison that played over at Savannah High.
Right, we part of a team.
Here you go. Bucky.
This was an individual championship in one of the biggest sporting events in the world.
Yeah, and so I agree with you. But
the only thing I would put close to it is Cheryl Hayworth medaling in the Olympics.
I agree with you. Okay. All right. So here, quick question for you. How do you think this is going to impact Brian's career now that he finally got a major under his belt? I mean, I'm proud that he won the Travelers in John Deere, and he's been close a number of times. I mean, I don't know which one it was. Was it the U.S. Open where he's like at 56?
He took the lead into the final round of the U.S. Open in 2017, and that was when Brooks Koepka won his first major championship, and only because Koepka played exceptionally well that day. Brian didn't do anything to lose the tournament. Koepka went out and won it. But this is a major breakthrough, and I am so glad that you phrased it the way you did. What is this going to do for his career? Because he was very outspoken about saying, my life is not going to change, because I've got a really good life and I want to keep it that way. But his career obviously will change. I mean, he's going to get a lot more attention on the PGA Tour now. He's number 10 in the world golf rankings. So he
jumped up 16 spots with that win.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, everybody's talking about how this was, an underdog and, a long shot win. Brian has been a great pro for a long time and was a prodigy when he was a child. I mean, you remember back when he was 12, 13, 14 years old. I was actually with him at the U.S. Junior Championship when he won up in Maryland. I was with him on the when he played on the U.S. winning team at the 2005 Walker Cup, a couple AJGA majors down in Florida. I mean, he was doing things back then that only Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods had done to that point. Yep. He won the U.S. Junior and was the AJGA Player of the Year in the same year. And at that time, he was the third person to do it. Tiger and Phil were the first two. So those of us who have followed him all along, we kind of always had a suspicion this might happen, that he was the kind of guy who would be around the lead in majors and maybe break through and get one. We also thought that he would win more tournaments than he has. And he has been open about that, saying, yeah, I wish I had one more and I should have one more. But it is hard to win on the PGA Tour now. And it is deeper now than it's ever been. And it's gotten deeper since Brian got out there. Every year, more good young players are coming out. And it's, he's not winning because he's not hitting it 350 yards. He's not winning because somebody just happens to play better the weeks that he's in contention.
So, all right, if you're just tuning in, it's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report live on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, right here on Soundgarden stage. I promise you, Tim, I could sing. I know 2 songs, Tim. Happy Birthday and Take Me Out. Well, 3 songs. Happy Birthday, The Star Spangled Banner, and Take Me Out to the Ball Game. But I'm not going to sing any of them for us. But once again,
well, if you're a Yankee fan, you got to know God Bless America, too, because they play that in during the 7th inning stretch. Robert
Merrill. Kate Smith, they did away with her for some reason. But we won't get into that either. Okay, so but anyway, we got people checking in on you. Lawrence Bennett, Tim was the first guest ever on our Her Brothers 19th hole show. Yeah, you did a good job on that. I mean, it's a little adultish, but you had fun with it.
I love sitting down with those guys. They are a riot. They know their golf. And the 2 years, the first year they did it was the COVID year. So I wasn't up in Augusta. So I was able to join them live. The last couple of years, we've tried to do it remotely, to try to record something. It hasn't worked out, but I'm going to do everything I can to be back with them this year. Just love the Herbs, love their show. And it's just they make it so much fun talking to them.
And like I said, you heard me, my number 1 fan. Good morning, Mr. Guidera. I've been watching you on WTC. You do a great job. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you so much, Dennis. I appreciate that. And I know he posted before about how proud and happy he was to see Brian win. There are just so many people out there who just were waiting for this breakthrough. We almost had it with Gene Sowers back in 1992.
Yeah. But he did win the USC
final round.
He did win the USC. That's a big deal, too.
Absolutely. And Brian's career has kind of almost mirrored Gene's to this point, because, he won a couple of events. Gene won 4 times on tour. Right. Brian had won 2. He's always been competitive, never lost his card. He's been out there for 12 years, never had to requalify for the tour. He has always kept his card. So he's been a solid competitive pro for most of his career, as Gene was. Now winning a major, I think, kind of bumps him up ahead. And, we're saying he won a major. It might not be over. I mean, 36 years old used to be when guys started to collect major championships. Phil Mickelson didn't win his first until he was 33. Now the game is so young that players are breaking through. Tiger changed the mentality of golf. Players used to come out, it took them 5 years to figure out how to win on tour. Then they kind of figured out the first 10 years they were making a living, and then they broke through with their major win. It seemed like in the 90s, the average age of major winners was like 32, 33 years old. Now it's in the 20s, 27. It's just Tiger changed everything, and Brian came out after Tiger. So I'm not saying as if, that changed, that is why he didn't do it early. But, who's to say that he doesn't have a week like he did last week at Augusta next April or at a U.S. Open coming up? If you do it once, you can do it again.
All right. So quickly, I know we've already spent that 15 minutes talking Brian Harman, but it's well worth it. Okay. The state of baseball. Okay. What are your thoughts about the current state of baseball with the new rules and the pitch clock? I mean, I love it because the games are moving faster, but I think it's made the game a little more exciting for the fans. But, what do you think the state is?
I think like a lot of people, I hate that they had to put the rules in. And going into it, I was like, oh, why are they putting a clock in baseball? Baseball's not supposed to have a clock. Why are they telling people where they can stand on the field? You're supposed to be able to stand anywhere. Every change has been good. The games move so much more quickly now. I texted with Ken Griner the other day. I was watching a Yankee Mets game, and I saw a player step out of the batter's box. And I said, that might be the first time this season I saw a player call timeout and step out of the box, which, here we are in July. It used to happen 5 times in at bat with some guys, but I think all the changes have been good. I don't like that they had to put an anti-shift rule in, but I hated seeing guys hit quality shots up the middle right into somebody's glove who was standing on the wrong side of second base.
All right. You're a baseball purist. I'm a baseball purist. I'm a little older than you, believe it or not. Okay. But Tim, the game should be played the way the game was made. Yeah, I agree. The pitch clock is great. I don't agree with the bases being a little bigger. But if you're a baseball player and they shift everybody over to the right side, first base, between first and second base, if you're a baseball player,
Right.
if you're Tony Gwynn, Ted Williams, whoever, you should be able to hit that ball the other way. And that's the problem with baseball.
Yep.
Now it's the launch angle. We got to hit it to certain spots. So you know what? It's strategy. Baseball, believe it or not, is, as Yogi Berra said, 80% physical, 20%, 40% mental, or whatever it was. Okay. You got to be able to do these things. Where's the art of bunting? Where's the art of bunting? I mean,
you lay down one bunt and they're not going to shift on you the next time up. But they try to hit it through the defense or over the defense. There's no hitting it around the defense anymore. I agree with all of that, but I don't think that's changing anywhere. These analytics, right. The executives are married to them. Right. When we were growing up watching baseball, if somebody had a 220 batting average, they were out of the league. Now half the league seems to be batting 220.
All right. Last question, because I know you do this big time too with the Georgia Bulldogs. WTOC sends you all over the place. So thoughts on the upcoming season? And, Kirby's taking a lot of guff with all these speeding tickets and all the tragedies. And, and I know it's hard for 20 guys to watch 150 guys all the time. Yeah. But about the football season, what do you think?
It's obviously easy to get excited about it because they're two-time defending national champions, but you don't look at that schedule and say, I can't wait until that week. Right. Unfortunately, they lost the Oklahoma game in week 2, replaced it with Ball State. So now, if you're not excited about South Carolina coming to Athens in week 3, you're waiting until week 10 when they go to Tennessee, which is fine. Georgia should be the number 1 team for most of the season. And, unless they underperform somehow and win ugly. But I don't see a loss on that schedule going in. The only drawback to that is I wonder how much that will prepare them for the postseason. They had some tough games last year, and so when they got down against Ohio State, they were ready. They were able to come back. So it'll be interesting to see, but it's just amazing that Georgia is maintaining this. I think everybody thought when they won for the first time in over 40 years, it was going to be, oh, great. We won our championship. Now, let's coast for the next 20 years. 3 in a row would be unbelievable, and they're actually going to be favored to do it. I saw a stat early in January when the very early point spread lines came out. They are going to be an average 27.5 point favorite in every game this year. Average. That means they're playing in the SEC and they're going to be favored by double digits over every team they play, including on the road at Tennessee.
All right, I wanted to end it on that, but I'm going to throw you a curveball right here because I'm a sports fanatic. I'm a junkie. I got Sirius XM, whatever they call it.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so I listen to a lot of sports. There was on the radio this morning. I don't know if it was Marty and McGee. I don't know what it was, but they're ripping the head football coaches because of the kids and the name, image, likeness deals they go. So you're a head football coach. You can make 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, $100 million, but these kids can't make $90,000, $100,000. They're crying about how it's unfair and everything else. Well, people, that's the name of the game. You can walk away and not get in trouble. These kids walk away. They get one chance now in the transfer portal, but they can't make any money. I had 2 boys that played college baseball.
Right.
Well, one played college baseball, one played college football. And for them to scrounge money to live was unbelievable.
Yeah, and not all of those kids are on full scholarship either.
No.
So, there's a story last week about how Jalen Carter was buying a teammate lunch every day because he didn't have the meal plan. That was part of the scholarship for a football player. People were so anxious to get athletes paid that they didn't care how it happened. And they just put this NIL out there, which is great that they found a way to compensate players, but it's just the wild, wild west out there. There's no regulation on this. And one kid gets $5 million and 70 kids get nothing. So, I don't think that they did the best job with figuring out compensation for players. And I do think that there will be some adjustments to it. But how are you going to regulate it? How are you going to tell players you can't make what you're worth? If the quarterback is worth $2 million, the quarterback should get $2 million. But that doesn't do anything for the backup center. So, but the NIL situation does probably have a lot to do with what we're seeing on the off the field stuff, because now kids are able to afford, these really high powered cars, and you put an 18-year-old kid in a car that can, with the 300 horsepower, whatever it is, they're going to test it out. And, that doesn't excuse what's going on in Athens right now. I mean, that's, something that Kirby is going to have to get a hold on and discipline players. But, it's also been suggested with the transfer portal now, you discipline kids, they're not going to stick around. They're going to go somewhere else. So your hands are tied on both ends. And it's just good that the coaches aren't really involved in the NIL, that they have outside agencies handling that. Because if it was Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, whoever showing up at a kid's house and negotiating, that would just make it would really make it distasteful in my opinion. And it would just load it towards the power teams.
Yeah. So, all right. I know I kept you a lot longer than I should have, but always a lot of fun.
That's fun.
Appreciate your hindsight and your thoughts about Brian Harmon and what's going on here. Hopefully we'll be at that parade when he's coming down the street. So, but once again, enjoy it. And football's here. So, we're not going to get any. It's going to be all sports now, all the way till the end of February and March. It's going to be crazy.
What are we, 5 weeks until opening season?
Yep.
Fantastic.
3 weeks to high school and then 5 weeks to pro college. And then I think 6 weeks to pro.
Fantastic. All right, Carl, it's always fun. Thanks so much for having me on. And again, it was so great to see Brian pull it off last week. And don't worry, Savannah's going to do something for him. And
I listened to you with you and your old sidekick, Ken Greiner, on the new Superstations with, was it Bill Shanks?
Yeah, Bill Shanks. We did the show on Monday at Coaches, actually. And that was funny. That was the very first thing John Henderson said is, what's Savannah going to do for Brian Harmon? It wasn't even 24 hours since the final putt dropped, and we're already talking about it. It takes time. And, again, it's going to take a lot of time to get on Brian's schedule these days. It's about to get real busy on there.
All right, enjoy the rest of the day, and I know I'll be following you, and we'll be talking more sports whenever we get together.
Thanks, Carl. Great to see you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Tim Guidera, I mean, the man knows his sports. The man was a sports journalist. He's still a sports fanatic, even though now on mid-morning you get him cooking Zapleys with me, or tasting chicken from this guy, or what's going on with the fundraisers. He's the man of Savannah. I mean, 1992, he came down here. He thought he'd be for 6 months, and he wound up finding himself a girl, and he never left. So just like me. All right, next up, I know I ran a little late, a little over, but coming up next, the new volleyball coach at Calvary Day School, former HV Jenkins Warrior, former basketball player for me. Love this girl a lot. We're going to be talking to the new head volleyball coach at Calvary Day School, Brooke Cameron. Stay tuned. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. We'll be back in 3 minutes. All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia, because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why. There's always sports, live music in the sound garden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV, because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991 and is always open for dining service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, it comes in uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. at locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies. Come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington.
All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia, because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why. There's always sports, live music in the sound garden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV, because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991, is always open for dining service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here. Live at Coach's Corner. I'm in front of the 975-inch screen, big TV. You got a sporting event you want to watch, come ask the crew. They'll put it on for you. But once again, it's all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Well, this is where I usually do my Wetherington Chiropractic Athlete of the Week. This girl will always be my Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. She's phenomenal. She's back in Savannah. She played basketball for me way back in the day when I was at Jenkins High School. She was at Vidalia last year. She has experience coaching volleyball, soccer, basketball, you name it, she does it. She joins Calvary Day School with her husband, Jason Cameron, who's now the new offensive coordinator for Mark Stroud and the Cavaliers. So the family's back in town. Mom's happy, but she had an engagement to do this morning. And next week and the week after, they'll be traveling with volleyball tournaments. But Brooke Cameron, the girl was all world. She got a college scholarship to play soccer out of Jenkins High School. So I wanted to get her thoughts on taking over one of the pretty prestigious programs here in the state. Little hiatus, but they're coming back because she's doing it. Join me now, or she joined me on Thursday to pre-record this segment. The new head volleyball coach that is, at Calvary Day School, Brooke Cameron. You got to love it. And once again, welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, heard every Saturday morning. Where else? On the Coach's Corner Sports Network. But like I said in the intro, this is pre-recorded because this young lady's got volleyball going on. She's got meetings. She's going here. She's going there. She's got a young son. She's got a husband that's involved in the football. But anyway, to make a long story short, I know this young lady for a long time because when I got to Jenkins High School, she was one of my former players. So it's a lot of fun watching her grow. She took a little trip to Jersey, but somehow we got her back here in Georgia, so which is something special. And I know her mother really appreciates it. But Brooke Cameron, or Brooke Rushing Cameron, is the new head coach over at Calvary Day School. Last year, she was at Vidalia. She'll get into how many years she was there. She was the volleyball coach, but she's coached volleyball. She's coached soccer. She's coached basketball. She's also was over at Coastal Middle School. You name it. She's like me. She can wear many, many different hats, and she can do what she's got to do. She does a great job with it. But I'm so excited. She's back in the SAV. Mom and Dad's very happy. Brother's happy. sister-in-law's happy that she's back here doing a thing. Joining me now on the Coach's Corner hot seat is the new Calvary Day School head volleyball coach, Brooke Cameron. What's up, Brooke?
Hey, what's up? Thank you for having me. It's good to be back.
Well, I know you took a little hiatus. You're over there at Coastal Middle School. We would converse. We'd get into things. You were over at St. Peter's. You came back from Jersey. Now, you went out to the country, but now you're back in the good old SAV. Once again, congratulations on getting the job. And I know things are going to be fun over there at Calvary Day School.
Yeah, thank you. And it's great to be back, originally from Savannah. And so it's great to see my family every day again. And Calvary has definitely made this transition great. From day one, they've really showed me how much they cared, not only about me, but our entire family, and always in constant contact. And, anything we needed, they were there. So it's been great. I'm really excited to be back.
Well, I know somebody that's very excited for you to be back, and that's Mama. Okay, Yvette Rushing, Jenkins High School volleyball coach, you name it, she did it. Athletic director. Now she's on the retired side with Dad, but she's still heavily involved in refereeing volleyball games. I don't think she's going to be doing your games, is she?
No, I think she's actually going to retire from that this year as well, and so I'm trying to get her over here to help with the books. But I'm excited to have her around more as well. She's very busy.
She's going to be critiquing you. I know that. So.
For sure.
All right. So let's tell everybody.
All right.
Brooke Cameron, HV Jenkins High School. Let's give them your background about, your good old high school career, college, and all those little stints you did before you finally got into, being a high school teacher.
Yeah, well, it's been a real long road, but I started playing in high school, and I was a multi-sport athlete in high school. I played basketball for an awesome coach, Coach DeMasi. And I also played volleyball and soccer. And then in college, I was on a soccer scholarship and ended up landing a job in a South Carolina school coaching volleyball, soccer, and basketball. So that kind of started my career in coaching and teaching, and just, loved that and found a passion there, and then moved to New Jersey, and then coached for 2 years in New Jersey. And then I went into marketing for a little while and came home and coached again. So I've been coaching total about 8 years of volleyball. So excited to be back in my hometown and coaching for Calvary this year.
And if you don't know, her husband, Jason Cameron, head football coach at HV Jenkins High School, took a step up, wanted to advance himself, went out to Vidalia. Okay, now he's back in town. He's taking over for a guy that I are dear to, my son, Russell DeMasi. He's now the new offensive coordinator over there at Calvary Day School. So it's a transition for the Cameron family. And I know your brother-in-law is very happy too, because now he doesn't have to trek, and your mother-in-law, they don't have to trek out all the way out there to Vidalia to watch you guys play. So, all right. So, volleyball coach. I mean, you've coached it for a long time, middle school, high school, you name it. Tell us about, your philosophy of what you're going to bring to this. I mean, I hate to tell you, Brooke, but historic volleyball program. I know they haven't won a volleyball championship since 2017, but, area titles. Last one was 2018. But tell us what you're going to bring to this Calvary Day School volleyball program, which you know it and I know it. A lot of people have a lot high expectations.
That's right. I mean, it's a lot of pressure, but I'm ready for the challenge. And I really believe, Coach, in developing the complete person rather than just focusing on athletics, because I feel like that's very important. And we've done a lot of team building exercises with the girls to develop leadership skills and qualities to make them a really tight unit. We are constantly preaching on how important hard work is and dedication, not only in sports, but in life as well. And I feel like the girls so far are responding pretty well to that.
Nice. I mean, you're coming into a school that's which you probably played against when you were way back there at Jenkins. So as far as team goals, every coach has goals, team goals. What have you guys set up for your program for this year, starting out first year at Calvary?
So definitely, we are a young team. We're a younger team. we only have 4 seniors this year, and it's very exciting for me because I feel like I get a chance to actually mold these young ladies and really see how high their ceiling is. Our seniors have really been stepping up so far and leading and trying to show our underclassmen how we do things at Calvary. So they're helping make this process a lot easier as well. And I feel like this is a team that's going to just continue to grow, continue to show hard work throughout the year, as they gain more game experience.
All right. So what's your philosophy? Attacking, setting, don't ask me. You guys got so many different formations, 4-2-W, this, that, snake, this, that, and the other thing. What's your philosophy as far as the team playing in a match goes?
So there's a lot that goes behind that, and I'm still learning each and every player. We're still working out the logistics on that. I don't want to give you all my secrets, but
no, you don't want, because some coaches will be watching.
That's right. So, but I can say, we're really working hard, and the girls are starting to find their place and their groove in each position, and they're responding very well. And I really think that we're going to have a good season.
I know every coach, and you've heard this from me probably, or from your mother, or from other coaches, from your husband. You got to make the team philosophy around the players you got, and a lot of people don't understand that. If you don't have, a setter, what are you going to do? I mean, so you got to find who can do what before you come up with a specific strategy. And if you're just tuning in, it's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. This is pre-recorded because this young lady has a lot of things going on with trying to get her to come on a Saturday morning, or, they'll be in Atlanta. They'll be all over the place playing these tournaments. So I figured let's get this out of the way right away. And plus, it's a former player of mine, over at H.V. Jenkins High School. And I'll tell you right now, unbelievable volleyball player, unbelievable basketball player, soccer player. I mean, you put her on the court, you put her on the soccer field, you put her on, and she's going to go after you. And I expect this Calvary team to do the same thing. And that's, of course, Brooke Cameron. Okay. So upcoming season, I mean, you're in one of the toughest regions in the state. Last year, I think Calvary finished fourth place, and they made the state playoffs. So tell us about, how you're looking at this region, what you expect to go against, because, you did it last year, the last 2 years of Vidalia. Is this going to be comparable to Vidalia, or it's totally different?
It's going to be a tough region, for sure. There's some really good team and really good talent. I do believe, though, that we here at Calvary have a lot of talented players, and our players are very dedicated, and they come into practice every day ready to learn. They work hard. So I'm really excited about this season to see. And I feel like each game day, they're only going to get better and better.
So, you're coming into this region, which we talked about was black and blue, and, with Country Day, with Christian, with Calvary, and I might be forgetting somebody else in that region. Oh, St. Vincent's Academy. So, about these programs, because when you were here, they were perennial programs. So as far as you getting the girls to believe that they could play with these teams, how are you going to go about doing that?
Well, I think it's just building up their confidence. I mean, letting them know, that they are as good as they play. We have a young team, like I said before, and with age comes confidence and stuff and just really making sure that that they know they're a good player and they are contributing to the team, and they are showing all that hard work, because at this age, especially with girls, they're very, self-conscious, always worried about impressing the coach and stuff like that. It's not about that. It's going out there, having fun, knowing that the game, feeling confident in your position, and just doing the best you can.
I hear you. Now, last question. I know, it's a family thing. You and Jason both went out to Vidalia. You both were varsity coaches. Now you're coming back in Savannah. How does that work? Do you guys come, get home at night and talk about the situations, or what's ever done at school is done at school?
We try to, when we get home, we try to focus on Jackson, really, because it is a lot. It's very time consuming. And, with volleyball and football both being in the same season, we make sure that we do workout time for our 7-year-old son, and it's really all about him. And so when he goes to bed, if there's something going on that we need to, talk about, I mean, as head coaches, it's nice to kind of get some feedback, from each other. So when the kids go to bed, that's when we, talk if we have anything. But for the most part, he's football and volleyball, and that's our life. So.
All right, and now, of course, first game against Beach High School, first week August. Nervous, or you're just going to go out there and do what you got to do?
I feel like, the girls, like I said before, they've been showing up to practice. They're dedicated. They're working hard, and we're going to go out there and we're going to give all we've got. We've been preparing for 2 months now. I think, the girls it's all coming together, and they're just going to get better and better each game day. And I'm really excited. Actually, it can't come soon enough. I'm just excited for that first game to see, what they bring. So,
well, it's not like it's a new rodeo, so you know what's going on. So you'll be ready for it. And
that's right.
Once again, like I've said before, I've been following you all along when you took your little hiatus up to Jersey and back. And but they're lucky to have you over there. I mean, I got to work across the street from you when you were at Coastal, and it was a great relationship. And it's always, it's exciting to see a former player come back and give back for what she learned over the course of her high school career or college career. But you're doing a great job. I know you'll be going out, you'll be going gun hunt. And just think about it. You're working with a legend, Ken Griner.
That's right. And he's going to be my next door neighbor too. So I'm really excited about that. He's a great person, a great guy. So I'm really excited about that. But thank you so much, Coach, for having me on. It's always so I appreciate you having me.
Hey, you got a good tag team member right there, right next door to you. Keep it going. And as they say over there now, and you're going to start saying it now, go Cavaliers.
Go Cavaliers. That's right.
Just a great girl. Great kid. Got a chance to watch her growing up. Got a chance to coach her. And I'm telling you, she was feisty. I mean, she had that desire, the hustle was unbelievable on the volleyball court, basketball court, soccer field. And you could tell she was a special athlete. And to go around and come around and watch her do this. And, if I played a little part in some of her philosophy, I was privileged, because it was a privilege to coach her and watch her grow. And, Jason does a great job with football, and, they're not going to miss a beat at Calvary Day School. I'll be rooting for the Cavaliers and Jason. And of course, I'm an offensive mind. He's an offensive mind. So, he's got some great talent over there. But Brooke, can't wait to see what she does. First scrimmage, I think, is over at Islands High School. So I got to go by and critique her as her old coach. You know what I mean? But once again, the new head volleyball coach over at Calvary Day School is Brooke Cameron. All right, we had some comments coming up here. Got a guy out in Texas there 2 weeks in a row. David Burns watching from Cedar Hill, Texas. And, of course, Dennis, that was recorded. So, but anyway, I know she's going to be right in your doghouse, because you're the big Cavalier fan. So make sure you go there and follow her and check her out and give you support. Next up, the new ball coach over at South C. Johnson High School, Stephen Smith. He's not a new guy to the school. He's not a new guy to the football program. He's not a new guy to the track program. He's been there for 5 years, and he's taken over for Kendrick Bonner. Can't wait to see what this young guy has to say, just like last week's new ball coach from Savannah High, Bud Tolliver. It's going to be a lot of fun talking to him. Coach, we'll be back in 3 minutes. Got to thank the people who sponsor the show. Once again, up next, South C. Johnson, Atomsmasher's head football coach, Stephen Smith. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia, because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why. There's always sports, live music in the sound garden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV, because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991, is always open for dining service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, it comes in uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. Come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Weatherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Weatherton Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Weatherton Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Weatherington at the Weatherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And good morning, Savannah and the Coastal Empire, July 29th, 2023. Monday kicks off football, high school cross country, volleyball, you name it. It starts. And once again, it's great to be here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. And last week I interviewed the Savannah High new ball coach, Bud Tolliver, the Blue Jackets' new young coach. And got to go down the road, right down the block here from Coach's Corner. Got to interview a new guy that's going to be the South Sea Johnson head ball coach. He's been there for 5 years, a lot of experience in football. He was the offensive coordinator there, had played football at Florida International, came back, went to Georgia Southern to get his degree, comes from Lovejoy High School in Atlanta, where he's a running back coach. So he's got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, he does lose 20 seniors, and he knows that because he's been part of the program for 5 years. So let's find out what the new South Sea Johnson Atomsmasher head coach, Stephen Smith, has to say about his program. Joining me now on the Coach's Corner hot seat, the ball coach, Coach Smith. What's up, Coach Smith?
How you doing, Mr. DeMasi, man? How you doing?
Hey, Mr. DeMasi. Call me coach like you. Mr. DeMasi sounds like I'm your grandpa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, real official, man. How you doing today?
Hey, it's a lot of fun. It's a Saturday morning. I get to talk about local sports, get to talk to you, to the new ball coaches, because, I'm the OG. I've been around football for a long time. But once again, congratulations on getting that job.
I appreciate it, man. It's really been a blessing and hard work, just to get to this point in my career. So I'm taking full advantage of it and relishing in the moment, and not really taking it for granted at all.
Well, I gave them a little background. Lovejoy High School, Florida International, Georgia Southern, track coach, the head track coach, the coordinator 5 years. Tell everybody a little something about Stephen Smith and about his travels down here to the good old SAV.
As you said, man, I grew up in Atlanta, went to Lovejoy High School, graduated 2006, was blessed to be able to play with a lot of very good football players, Tashard Choice, Mario Fannin, Chris Hale, Baron Isom, Chris Scott, a lot of guys who played in major D1 programs, made it to the league, and went down to Florida International, ran track for a year, just kind of really wasn't my scene, got back to Georgia, did club track at Georgia and tried to walk on to the football program, and Georgia Southern, where I found my love for coaching. I needed an elective, and coaching football was the one available. I tried it. That was 2009, and I never looked back. I've been coaching varsity sports since 2009, and I've been real fortunate for my journey and blessed for the people that's given me an opportunity to get to this spot in my life.
Well, you're following Kendrick Bonner, who, brought that program back to respectability, really gave it to another level. You've been probably like his right-hand man, being the offensive coordinator. So what is Coach Smith's coaching philosophy? What are your core values as a coach, and what are you bringing to the kids different than what Coach Bronner did?
Well, me and Ken Derrick, we went back a long way. We used to coach on lower levels together, and we knew whenever one of us got the opportunity to be a head coach, we would absolutely bring the other one along. And he was blessed to get the opportunity first, and I was blessed to come along with him. And so Ken Derrick was real big on making sure that the kids work hard. Hard work pays off. That was the model for the past 5 years. And so now that's that foundation of my program. I don't have to preach hard work. When the kids show up to our program, they know it is about hard work. That's just the bare minimum in order to be a part of the program. So now we're taking that step to understanding the game of football, being more cerebral to the approach, and learning how to be better football players, right? You get guys that are good athletes. If they work hard enough, you'll win some games against some lesser opponents. But when you get to the more upper echelon opponents, you got to have a more approach to the game where you got to study film, you got to understand what you're doing, you got to learn how to attack your opponent and understand what the game plan is on offense and defense. And so we spent this entire summer just basically in a lab creating better football players, bigger, stronger, faster, and just smarter. Smarter is our keys to being better. We're not gonna have the bigger guys, the 6'6", 6'7". We're not gonna have the 4'5", 4'6", 40s. But I do think what they've learned this summer, that if they play together as a team and they all understand how to do their job and be 1/11 of the man on the field, then that one man on the field can get the job done together. So it's all about teamwork, cooperation, accountability is a huge part of it. Making sure that you're here, and if you're not here, you understand the consequences of not being here and not pouting about it. We've done a lot better job of that, kids being here during the summertime. We did graduate a lot of seniors, but the senior group that's been here, they've been in attendance, they've been working hard, the junior group's been working hard. So I'm looking forward to seeing a product that they put out on the field.
Well, I mean, you just threw your whole coaching philosophy at me. And, as far as the team goes, and, every coach has a goal for his team. What's your goal for this team this year?
It's a simple goal, just be a better program than we were last year. If we were 5-5, we let a few games we definitely feel like we let get away from us, games that we felt like we should have won going into, understanding that next man up. And so obviously we're 5-5 last year, so anything better than 5-5 and making the playoffs for sure. So just being more competitive and letting the people in the building see that you can come out to this program. It doesn't matter your experience, doesn't matter how many varsity reps you have, but if you want to be a part of a program that's on the rise, then just see what we're doing over here and just fall in line, and we'll get to where we want to be eventually.
Well, if you're just tuning in, it's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report on the internet, Facebook, Karl DeMasi Sports Report, Coach's Corner Facebook page, Twitter, KD Sports Report, and of course on YouTube at the Karl DeMasi Sports Report channel. It's a lot of fun talking to new guys coming in, way back when in 1986 when I started coaching. Yeah, I know you weren't even around then, probably.
Thought about then.
So getting their insight, getting their thoughts, and getting there, seeing what type of personality he has. Okay, so reading up, because you got to find out the information about their coaches. Yeah, I know. I'm out here at Coach's Corner, and the humidity is unbelievable today. So, from reading Dennis Knight's article when you were hired, he said that, you have a great relationship with the student athlete at South C. Johnson High School. So what type of coach are you? Are you laid back? Are you intense? Are you rah-rah? Are you a quiet leader by example? What would they tell you about Coach Smith and his coaching style?
So it's funny, right? You would think when you talk to the kids, when they tell you about the respect that they have for me and the respect in the program, you would assume like he's more of a laid back and not a rah-rah. But I do have a reputation for being on the field, to being a little bit animated, a little bit over the top. I'm very honest and upfront. I had a wonderful high school coach named Al Hughes in Atlanta at Lovejoy, a real successful guy. And one thing about Al Hughes, he would get on you, but one thing that I took away from that, not just Al Hughes, but my entire coaching staff, no matter how hard they were on us, they definitely showed when it was not about football that they loved us as people, as individuals. And so while my kids know from 3 to 6, you're going to get yelled at, you're going to get fussed at, that's going to happen. But before 3 o'clock and after 6 o'clock, right, you can come talk to me about your problems. You can come lay some stuff on me if you need some help with some work. I'll make some ways to get you, because I'm a math teacher, obviously. So, I got a lot of kids that want to come to me and sit down and get some tutoring in math. So the kids just understand that I love and respect them as people first, and they know that I care about them. And so while I yell and I fuss and I cuss and I jump around, they know not to take it personal. We got a motto that stemmed from track season where it's not personal, it's just business. And I tell them that both of my programs, my track program and my football program, are my business. And so I'm just trying to make my business as best as it can be. And you're a part of my business. And if you can't help me make that business better, then maybe this is not the business for you. And once they understand that, they kind of start falling in line. So, they get kids that want to come out to the the football program, and they tell them, hey, listen, I know what you think, but when you get out here, it's going to be some hard work. So they're out here lifting, running hard, working hard, trying to learn the offense, trying to learn the defense, and I appreciate the effort that they put in. So, yeah, I'm definitely not, I know how to compartmentalize that coaching style and that personality. So I'm kind of a hard guy.
All right, so you said it before. You're coming into the season. You were 5-5 last year. You graduated 20 seniors. So, Johnson's always been its strength has been athletic and quick. So sometimes you don't have that outstanding one-person football player that makes the difference. So what do you think your needs are going to be this year when you lose those 20 seniors and you got these young guys watching what they do? What's going to be, I guess, what would be your strength this year for Atomsmasher football?
So, man, surprisingly, man, we graduated a bunch of seniors, but we're going to have a bunch of seniors again coming up. So we're not going to have the experience on the field, but we will have the maturity. And I think the strength is going to be this senior group understanding that they don't have one person who they can rely on to be the guy to make all the plays. We got guys who understand, like, hey, I trust you to do your job, and you trust me. I don't need you to come down and play the curl, the flats, or I don't need you to go block that guy, because I know that's my job to go block that guy. So the biggest thing I think we're going to have this year is trust. We're gonna be a lot better on execution. I think we spent a lot of time this summer just making sure guys understand where to be, huddling up, calling plays from the sideline with the quarterback in the huddle, making sure everybody knows what to do, implementing our new offense and our new defense. And so I'm thinking this year with the maturity level that we have and the accountability, I cannot stress enough this senior group. We got guys that haven't been there. And in the past, our seniors might say, hey, when such and such comes back, coach, they got to get on the field because they're going to help us. But this group is more like, hey, I know this guy could have helped us, but we've been here all summer putting in this work. And if he ain't out here putting in this work, I know that's my friend. But hey, we trying to be successful this year. And clearly he not bought into the program. So we got guys that are really bought into the program. They've taken that philosophy that Bonner had instilled in him while he was there, and they're starting to learn how to be leaders and showing that younger group how to be a leader of a program. So I'm excited to see, again, the product that they put on the field, man. The execution is what I'm looking forward to. I think we're going to execute better offensively and definitely not defensively. Defensively, we executed pretty well last year. We had a pretty stout defense, but offensively, I think we're going to execute a lot better. And I think that's going to be the difference in the success this year and last year for sure.
All right, 2 more questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
You told me that accountability and, get there and show. You told us about how your coaching style it is. But think about it, though. You said you had a great coach up at Lovejoy, Coach Hughes, right?
Yes, sir.
So what do you hope to achieve as a coach long-term? Not just what's going to happen this year, but down the line. How do you see your coaching career going there, Coach Smith?
So I see it similar to, when I had the opportunity to take over track programs. I've been waiting to get to this point. So I have 2 region championships, 2 region runner-up championships at my prior school, and a state runner-up at Portal, and then here winning region and having a team that competes for state titles. And so I'm hoping that with this opportunity where the kids start seeing success, because that's how I built the track program, where this group starts to see success, I think that in the long run, I want to be one of those guys in the Georgia Dome holding up that trophy. I don't coach for fun. I'm just being honest. I do it for the wins, and I build my relationships. But as I build those relationships, I let the kids know, like, this isn't rec league. This isn't just for fun, right? We're out here to win football games. And so I'm hoping as I continue this journey that I get guys in my program, whether I'm at Johnson or anywhere else, that will come into the program and help me be a winner. So the goal is to be a winner at the end of the day.
I know this is a tough one, and I don't want you to put locker room news up there for these other teams.
Can't put no bulletin board up, DeMasi. Now
Right.
You know how I go.
But
you a coach.
You're in a tough region, okay? And it's the last one. We don't know what's going to happen next year with reclassification, but very tough region. So you've been a part of it. Tell us give us your hindsight of what this region's like playing against Calvary and Christian and Country Day, and then all the public schools. What's your interpretation of this region?
So I think that last year, right? I can only speak on what we accomplished. I think we had against the private schools, I think we let some stuff go. I think they're very competitive. I think they're very talented. The Savannah Christian game, I think we made a few mistakes on defense in the first quarter. And we got down to the goal line. We got into the red zone twice, and didn't put points up, and on paper, right? We can always talk about on paper. I know a lot of people feel like maybe that Savannah Christian didn't perform to their ability, but in my opinion, I think that we just let some stuff go. I think that we have a group that can compete. We don't necessarily have the names, right? But I do think we have guys who are competitive and who want to win. And so in this region, I hurt when our quarterback went down those last 2 games. I think that kind of took the air out of the sail. Starting off the season 4-1, having 2 tough opponents in Calvary and Christian back to back, take a tough blow, kind of stumbled out the gates against Groves, and then going into like literally that Thursday, the last rep of practice, our quarterback breaks his hand going into the Country Day game. And I don't think as an offensive coordinator, I did a good enough job of preparing a backup. And so when he went down, we were kind of very stagnant. And so it's only so long the defense can hold up. And so in the offseason, again, I'm trying to take care of those weaknesses, being a smarter football team and adding depth. And I think we got a solid region. I think it's an underrated region. I think a lot of people overlook the region because, they joke, hey, late in the season is a round ball. That round ball coming out, them boys in Savannah, they're going to tap out. They don't really want to be out there. But, I got guys who I think the attrition late in the season is something that I know going forward that I want to make sure that we handle. I want to make sure those last 3 or 4 games of the season we're mentally and physically prepared, because it's a grind. And a lot of kids' bodies aren't built for that grind of 12 weeks when you count that bye week. And so I'm trying to make sure as a track coach, I deal with the body. I got a kinesiology degree, master's degree, so I know how the body works. And so I'm trying to make sure this season, when we get to those last 3 games, we're in tip-top shape like we were in the first three games. And so we can finish the season a lot better. So I'm fortunate to be able to play. We don't got a lot, like I said, we don't got a lot of big name guys, but like Ric Flair say, man, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. And so if you want these opportunities, if you want these college coaches to see who you are and to see what you're worth, you're going to get that opportunity when you play those big names. And so I look forward to those challenges, and I make sure that my kids understand, like, it doesn't matter who play against you. There's only going to be 11 men on the field. And if you execute and they execute, if you're where you're supposed to be and they just outplay you, if they jump ball or they pancake you, or if you're in the right position and they just make a better play, that's one thing. But the goal is to make sure that you're in position. So hopefully we're in position all season long, and we'll be a better program than we were last year.
Well, Coach, I know you got 21 days to your first game, and you got a lot to get under your belt. I wish you the best of luck. And I know right now you're working with a little condition where you got to go to another place to practice, and hopefully your field will get done. I mean, I've been watching it grow, and then it just stopped. And
just stopped.
Well, it probably has to do something with that soil over there, because that practice area is built in a swamp.
And you already know. You've been over there.
So
you already know.
I wish you the best of luck. I'll see you in person when Savannah Chatham County does their media day, August 17th. Look forward to day before your first game there, Coach. So I hope you're not going to be a little nervous.
Oh, no, man. Look, man, I relish in these opportunities. So I'm looking forward to it, baby. I appreciate your time today.
Hey, good luck, Coach. Pleasure talking to you, and we'll meet up personally that day.
Yes, sir, man. You take care. Have a great weekend.
You got it. I mean, he's a young guy. He's been at the track program. The track program competes every year. He's been part of the football program. South Sea Johnson's not going to miss a beat, and this young guy looks like he's going to take it to the next level. So I can't wait to see what Coach Steven Smith does over there at South Sea Johnson High School. All right, going to wrap this puppy up. Got one more segment to go, 3 steps out the door. Got my 3 videos that are social media videos. Sorry, people, I don't do TikTok, so they're not from TikTok. They're either Reels, Twitter, or Facebook. So if you got something you want to send me your video that you think it made an impact or will make an impact or people will love to watch to the Karl DeMasi Sports Board. And then I'll give you Karl's Corner, my editorial on something that's going on in sports in the world of Savannah, Georgia. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Oh, hold it. Got a comment here. My good buddy, Coach Kevin Brown, watching the show. Thanks, Coach. Even this old guy sometimes looks good, I guess. Be back in 3 minutes. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, and it's all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network every Saturday morning on the Soundgarden stage, but I won't sing for you. That's tonight, and I'll tell you who's playing tonight when we come back. It's all the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia, because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why. There's always sports, live music in the Soundgarden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV, because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991, is always open for dining service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Atomsmasher got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands: Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, Come see where everyone is a
Yo,
winner.
you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Weatherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Weatherton Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Weatherton Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Weatherington at the Weatherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
What's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, heard every Saturday morning on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, right here in the Sound Garden. That's right, the Sound Garden stage, where they play music every Friday, well, usually every Friday and Saturday night. I'll tell you who's coming up tonight and who's coming up in the future weeks in a couple of minutes, and this is the last segment, quarter number 5, or like I like to say, overtime, and Lawrence Bennett, we're going to make that hopefully 140 mark. I know you're excited about that. That's the producer from Rubbin' and Grubbin', the OG, the mastermind of the Coach's Corner Sports Network, Lawrence Bennett. You got to love him, okay? So I didn't get to finish, before I get the 3 steps out the door, I didn't get to finish the news. I got to where the Braves won last night. I mean, they were, they won 3 out of the last 10 games. Last night they explode for 10 runs and 14 hits, and they hold on to win 10-7. Then, of course, Brian Harmon, local boy from Savannah Christian, Southbridge community. He is a Savannian. We all know he lives in St. Simon's Islands, and we all know that St. Simon's Island says, he's ours. He'll always, in my mind, be a Savannian, a Savannah boy who has made it big. Okay? Got to love it, okay? We got another Savannah boy, okay? With PGA Golf, Tim O'Neill made it to the Champions Tour, which is the 50 and over golfers. He's played in 13 events. He's made 6 cuts or 8 cuts. I don't know what it is, but you know what? He's playing at the Senior Open. He's tied for 25th at 2 over. Okay, so Tim O'Neill, Johnson High School, Jackson State, another local kid that has done good with golf, and that man has persevered. Persevered for how long he's played golf, and he's still on playing on a tour. Okay, Gene Sowers hasn't played in a while. I got to do some research why he hasn't played in a while. Last time I found out he was playing was in April. Okay, don't forget Savannah Bananas. They're on their West Coast trip. 6 games. They're at game number 67 out of 87. 20 games left. I can't believe it. On the year, the Bananas are 24, 25, 22. That's against the Party Animals and Challenges. Those are teams that want to challenge the Bananas in Banana Ball. Against the Party Animals, they're 27, 22, and 2. I think they've won the last 5 straight, and they've won the last 5 straight in California. They won Thursday night on a Bill Leroy. And here I am, Phil, coming to bat. Number 1, Bill Leroy. Walk-off single on Thursday night. Tonight, they'll be, to end their trip, they'll be at the AAA Stadium for the Sacramento River Cats, taking on the Party Animals. Just Bananas, what Jesse Cole, Emily Cole, Jared Orton have done with this team. They'll be back in Savannah hopefully this week, or I don't know where they're going. I got to check my schedule. And you know what? Let me do that now for you people, because I don't want to get it wrong. And I know everybody, of course, they're sold out, and that's the shame of the whole thing. I'm still going to make my prediction. Someday we will have a Banana Ball League run by Jesse Cole. He'll be the commissioner. I'm excited about it. Okay, so tonight they are at the World Tours in Sacramento, California, at Suda Health Park, which is home of the Sacramento River Cats AAA team. I forgot who did a AAA team, but it's AAA ballpark. They come home next weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's sold out. I do apologize. And then the first week of August, let's see if they're going somewhere. Then the following week, they're going to make their New England trip tour. They're going to Jersey. They're going to Staten Island. Tim Guidera, you hear that? They're going to Staten Island. They're going to Hartford. They're going to Portland, Maine. Then they come back the next week. They go to Des Moines, Iowa. And then they come up. They finish it up at the end of August in Savannah. And I think the last 3 games of September, I think they're going to be at Cooperstown. Let's see. Savannah. Oh, they go to Milwaukee. And then they wound up their world tour September 14th and 16th. 14th in Syracuse, and the 16th is at Cooperstown. Just an unbelievable story what Savannah Bananas have been doing. Savannah Clovers won 2 in a row. Okay, not in the NISA, but they won Thursday night. They had an exhibition game against the Jacksonville Lions. They won 3-2. Last Saturday, they beat Soda City Football Club 2-0. That makes them the 2023 National Independent Soccer Association Southern Region Independent Cup champions. So 2 in a row for the Clovers, and they'll be at Chattanooga next Saturday. Savannah Falcons, don't forget about it. Savannah Falcons, our semi-pro football team, will hold tryouts on August 27th at Daffin Park, 5 o'clock sharp, okay? Savannah Falcons are our semi-pro football team. This will be their 4th season in the Elite American Football League. They've made the playoffs 3 years in a row. Pretty excited for, Coach Cheese Morgan, or Eddie Cheese Morgan over there doing a great job with the Savannah Falcons football team. Soundgarden. What's happening in the Soundgarden? Okay, so that's all the local news and national sports that I can catch up with that I didn't get a chance to do in the first segment. I think I'm going to make my first segment a little longer. What do you think there, OG producer Lawrence Bennett? Got to make that first segment a little longer to get all that news in there, I guess. I got to learn something here. The old OG ball coach got to learn by his mistakes. But what's going on in the Soundgarden? Here you go. Tonight, 7 o'clock, Slippery When Wet, the ultimate Bon Jovi tribute band. I heard it's out of the park. Next Saturday, On the Border, the ultimate Eagles tribute band. I love the Eagles. I might be here because next Saturday morning, I'll do the media day, the Optum Orthopedics Prep Sports Report, Karl DeMasi Sports Report media day. So I won't be here in the Soundgarden. I'll be at Optum Orthopedics setting it up. The show will start at 10 o'clock at Optum Orthopedics next week. Then Friday, August 18th, we got Irritating Julie, like I irritate D, my wife. And then Saturday, August 26th, all my rowdy friends, the nation's ultimate Hank Jr. tribute band. I know John Henderson was excited when he told me about that date. So here you go. Tonight, 7 p.m., Slippery When Wet, the ultimate Bon Jovi tribute band. When you come to the door to check in, say hello to the OG of the sports, the Coach's Corner Sports Network, Lawrence Bennett, because he'll be at the door taking the ticket. So check that out. All right. Karl's Corner. What does Coach Karl DeMasi want to talk about today? Karl's Corner. I touched on it with Tim Guidera, my first guest, way back there at 9:15. Brian Harmon. Okay, you hear all this stuff about Brian Harmon this, Brian Harmon that. You know what, people? Savannah needs to show some love. Purvis Ellison, who played at Savannah High, went on to play at Louisville, won a national title with the Louisville Cardinals. His pro career was kind of tough because a lot of injuries. Never came back to Savannah, Georgia, stayed in Jersey, and a lot of Savannians were upset about that. Well, you know what? They're adults, okay? They're going to make new homes. They're going to move to new places. But you know what? They're still from Savannah, Georgia, okay? And when you watch these guys grow up, when you watch them do what they do, they'll always be Savannian kids, no matter where they live or what they do or how they spend their time. And we need to show love. I've brought this up many a time about during the season, we have rivals. We don't root for them. But when the season is done or we're out of the playoffs and there are still Savannah area teams at the next level in playoffs, I'm going to root for them. BC winning back-to-back football titles. Windsor Forest making runs at the state semifinals and finals in basketball. St. Andrews. Even the small schools that people give no love to. Oh, Coach, well, it's only the Georgia Penn in the School Association. It's only SCISA, South Carolina Independent Association. But you know what? They're making it to the finals. They're winning championships. Brian Harmon winning the British Open. And I'm going to say it's the British Open because that's what it's always been called. But now we got to call it the Open. Well, is it the U.S. Open? Is it the British Open? Is it the John Deere Open? It's the British Open. But anyway, I'm going to root for them. And, hopefully like Tim Guidera, mid-morning host for WTOC, sports writer for Savannah Morning News, they'll do something for Brian Harmon in Savannah. Okay, they're doing something for Flage this weekend, born here in Savannah, Georgia. Okay, so, she represents Savannah, Georgia. You got to love these kids. They're from Savannah, Georgia. They might not have played their career here in Savannah, Georgia, but still, they did something special, and they're from Savannah, Georgia. There are a lot of athletes from Savannah, Georgia that have done something special. Hey, Herbie Ginn, Woodville Tompkins, I think. Undefeated Miami Dolphins team way back there in 1973-74. He played for them. So, there's a lot of history here with our athletes going to the next level. And Brian Harmon is one of the biggest because it's the PGA. It's one of their 4 major tournaments. Perseverance, like I said, with Tim O'Neill. Perseverance with Brian Harmon. But we'll do something special for him, I guess, sooner or later. And I'll be there rooting him on. So that's Carl's Corner. All right, well, it's been a lot of fun. Don't forget, let me get my notes here. Next Saturday, I will not be here on the Coach's Corner stage. I'm going to be at the 3rd annual Optum Orthopedics Prep Sports Report Football Media Day because I'm the man that's running it. That's my other love is the Prep Sports Report. Go check out the website. Great story on 2 young lacrosse players that are going to play on national TV and Professional Lacrosse League's Junior Championships. They were drafted. They went to tryouts and they got drafted. I mean, it's going to be pretty special. One was from Country Day and the other was from Country Day and the other was from St. Andrews. I'm going to give you a name right now. Let me get to it. Once again, this old guy got to remember a lot of stuff. So let me pull up their names. Bear with me. Next weekend, they'll be playing at the Professional Lacrosse League Junior Championships. We're talking about Connor Hartley, 8th grade at Savannah Country Day, and Colton Price, another 8th grader at St. Andrews Schools. Check out it. It's on the Prep Sports Report. Like I said, you got anything you want to put about upcoming or professional athletes or anything, please do. Remember, Anthony Lanier football camp is now going over at Daffin Park, Anthony Lanier, HV Jenkins High School, Alabama State, Washington Redskins, San Diego Chargers. I don't know who else he played for in the professional league. Right now, he's playing with the Saskatchewan Rough Riders in the Canadian Football League. So go check it out. Another guy giving back to the community, just something special. All right. So like I said, next week, the Optum Orthopedics Prep Sports Report Football Media Day. There'll be BC, Bethesda, Bradwell, Bryan County, Calvary Day School, Effingham, Liberty County, Memorial Day School, Richmond Hill, Savannah Country Day, Savannah Christian, St. Andrews South, Effingham High School. And yes, the public schools are holding their own media day because I dropped the ball. I didn't get them soon enough. They already had planned it, August 17th. So we also will get a football media day for the public schools, so I'm not leaving them out. All right? So next week, come watch. It's free, 10 o'clock, Optum Orthopedics main center right there on Duran Avenue. Starts at 10 o'clock. It'll probably go to about 12, 1 o'clock. Check it out, 210 East Duran Avenue. I hope to see you there because this coach will be there. All right, so it's time to get out of here. Last 3 steps out the door, my videos. Once again, my mama always told me, you learn a lot out of the mouths of babes. I'm telling you right now, we got walk-up dances, we got walk-up songs. This is a little gritty. I think I found it on MLB hitters.com. I don't know where I found it. I found it on Reels out of Instagram. Pretty special. Watch this little kid. It's amazing.
I say right foot creep, walking with that heater. Look around, stay low, make sure they don't see you. Catch some bad, walk down, face them with that heater. The devil under your feet, you on your way to see him. Stress me when I can't sleep, bang out when I see you. Play with me, you can't.
You gotta love it. What little kids do. They watch the older kids. They watch professional baseball. Now, this kid is something special from Major League Baseball. Elly De La Cruz for the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, steals 3 bases. That's right, in the same inning. That means second base, third base, and home. You got to love it.
De La Cruz goes. Pitch called a strike, throw down on a skip late. Another steal for Elly De La Cruz. Takes off again. Pitch down and in, fade throw. There's no chance. Well, 2 steals.
De La Cruz had already looked a couple of times at Brian Anderson, knowing that if he got a jump,
he's going home. The throw, he stole home. The most thrilling man in baseball stole second, third, and home.
I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Second, third, and home in the same play. Same inning. That's why everybody's loving Elly De La Cruz for the Cincinnati Reds, and I got to thank the Cincinnati Reds and Major League Baseball for that. Okay, got to thank Bally Sports for the next one because this happened the beginning of the week. I know they've been having a tough time. They took a 1-0 lead over the Boston Red Sox. I was hoping they would beat the Boston Red Sox, but it didn't happen. 2 in Fenway Park. But the triple play that was heard around the world, first one the Braves have done since 2004, and I think it was the first one at Fenway Park since they opened the park. Pretty special. Here you go. The Atlanta Braves triple play from earlier on in this week. Bally Sports.
Shallow right center, long run, but Michael gets there. Throwing back to first, may have a play. Double him off, and maybe a triple play. It is unbelievable. Just how they drew it up.
Well, if it wasn't cloudy, I would now be checking for a full moon. No question about it.
We have seen it all tonight. Michael started it. It's an 8-3-5 triple play.
I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Those are my 3 steps out the door. So really excited about it. Like I say every week, please say a prayer for everything that's going on in this crazy world in the Ukraine and the United States. It's just unbelievable. And they need our prayers. But on a happy note, whatever you're doing today and tomorrow, always get out of the park. And until I talk to you next week. Now, remember, next week, I will be broadcasting live from Optum Orthopedics for the Karl DeMasi, not the Karl DeMasi, the Optum Orthopedics Prep Sports Report, okay? 3rd annual football media day. Check it out. That's where I'll be. So until I talk to you next week, may it be your best week ever. Hold it. I appreciate that, Lawrence Bennett. 1 hour and 41 minutes. Someday I'll get to that 2-hour mark for you, buddy. Just got to add one more guest. And Lawrence Bennett, always watching the show. Trying to pull it out there to 140, 145. Whoop, whoop. Okay. But like I said, whatever you're doing this week, sorry. I'm off course here. Whatever you're doing today or tomorrow, hit it out of the park. And until I talk to you next week, may it be your best week ever. God bless. Be safe. I'm out of here. Next week, Optum Orthopedics. You've been watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. All the time. That's Coach.